Three questions. What's your favorite movie?
So we'll go with Shawshank Redemption, but I will have to go second best Inception.
Inception. Okay. All right.
Very Outbound movie.
Okay. Next.
Favorite vacation place?
Yes.
It's a place called Agios Pavlos. It's in South Greek. It's unbelievable. You should go there.
Is it as good as Claudia's place?
I don't know. I've been to Brazil for 4 months. I've never been to.
Okay. All right. And what do you like to eat when you're driving?
I guess I don't drive a lot today, but when I drove in New York, I used to go to Dunkin' Donuts. So I had my glazed donut, my coffee.
Classic. Classic.
Morning.
Classic.
Yeah.
All right. So Assas with Lucia, and he's going to tell us everything he wants to know about that.
Yep. You're welcome.
Oh, it's the wrong present. It's my presentation stuff.
Right.
We know.
I will start by saying I'm sorry. I have a sore throat. We've all been sick in my house for the last month. We spent Thanksgiving in Maryland, my wife's family. My daughter got sick, and then I call it a circle of death. When I got sick, and then my wife got sick, and then my son got sick. Two things you can take from it. One, Thanksgiving food is not that great, and two, I don't get along with my in-laws.
So that'd be a normal Thanksgiving in the U.S.
Right, exactly. I'm going to talk today about Outbound, about Lucia, and about how hiring and training BDRs is related to the Dead Sea. But you all heard the joke, so I can start without it. So how is BDR hiring and training related to the Dead Sea? My name is Assa and I'm from Lucia. Lucia is a B2B contact information database. We provide emails and phone numbers for your prospects. So when you look at a guy on LinkedIn, you'll immediately see the right email and the right phone number for the prospect. You can actually reach them over the phone or even engage with them. A little bit about me. So I started the BDR team, enterprise BDR team at Lucia from scratch. I did the same thing for Sysens and SIBO. We're going to talk about Sysens a little bit about how I built that over there. I love business development in Outbound. I've been doing it all my life, not only in high tech in the last 5 years. I've been doing it really from my early career. I love hiring and training people. I look at my employees as part of my family. And in my early career, I used to run my own businesses. So if any of you ever walked to the mall and got stopped by an annoying Israeli saying, "Excuse me, sir, may I ask you a question?" Do you ever see those guys? So I was one of those guys who stopped you at the mall and tried to sell you something. I did that for 3 months, and then I realized I'm okay at sales. I opened about 30 locations, 5 different states, 100 employees, which I trained myself, and I saw that I really like it. And this is what it looks like. So these are the Dead Sea products, right? And as far as I'm concerned, this is business development or Outbound 101. Excuse me, sir, may I ask you a question? Is the same thing as, "Hi, my name is Assa, I'm from Lucia, do you have a quick minute?" Right? When you call somebody on the phone, they never heard about you, never heard about your product, and you need to pitch them, you need to sell them something really, really fast. And when I started hiring people, I realized that, this is very similar to what I've been doing before, so it was kind of easy. How is it similar? So again, cold outreach. You have 15 seconds to deliver value. If you stop somebody at the mall and he stops, come here for a second. 15 seconds to deliver value. Same thing with cold calling. You have 2 seconds to get somebody not to hang up on you. Another 2 minutes to get them to engage with you. It's not an easy task. It's a high volume and big numbers game. In the BDR world, we call 50 people. 10 will answer, 5 will say no, about 3 will say not right now, and maybe 1 or 2 will say yes. So if you have good BDRs, business development representatives, they will close 1 or 2 a day. So it's about 6 to 4 meetings per week. Same thing with Agalot. At the mall, you stop 100 people, 10 will stop, 5 will listen to you, 3 will say no, and 1 maybe will say yes. You have a 5-minute pitch. You need 5 minutes in order to book a meeting. Somebody that you called out of the blue, don't know who you are, maybe heard about your product, will tell you yes in 5 minutes. This is not an easy task. You need to show fit, you need to show pain, you need to really get them engaged with your product. Same thing with Agalot. You have 5 minutes to get somebody to say yes to a sale. And then at the end of the sale, the action item will be, hey, talk to my manager or schedule a time with an AE. So you actually book an hour with somebody who never heard about you. I think the biggest similarity is the rejection. You deal with rejection all the time. People will curse you. They will hang up on you. They will lead you on the phone, and you will talk and talk and talk, and you don't know what they want from you, right? You deal with rejection all the time. That's the most important thing. So when I started hiring at SIBO, this is where I started my high-tech career, I realized that it's very similar to what I've been doing. So I pretty much hired and trained exactly what I did in the Agalot 15 years ago. I did 5 years ago at SIBO. First thing I'm looking for is creativity. If you all know, we all have a process or a cadence, which is usually first day you call, the second day you email, the third day maybe you send a LinkedIn request. So if you have somebody that's really process oriented, it's awesome, it's great, but I'm looking for people that will get out of it, get out of that process, because if you go by that process and something doesn't work, don't do the same thing over and over again. Try to be creative. I'm looking for people who are good at failing. That's good without saying. Rachel talked about it, and right now you can see that you call 50 people and only 10 will answer. You need to call again and again and again and again. And every day you send an email, somebody sends you not the response you want to get. You need to be good at failing. You need to be adaptable to changes. One, because of startups, right? We change all the time. And two, in the BDR world, sometimes you will tell you go after enterprise, maybe go after SMB, go after VPs, CEOs. You need to change your messaging all the time and be adaptable to that. Most important thing are the verbal skills. This is what number one thing I look for. Everything I do in all the process, I build for the call. So I don't expect anybody to connect with me on LinkedIn or even book a meeting with me on LinkedIn or reply my email. But I do expect them to see my name or my company name enough time. So when I call, I'll be ready. I have 5 minutes, again, 15 seconds to deliver value, 5 minutes again to say yes. Who am I looking for? Looking for people with okay knowledge experience, all right? I'm looking for people who are good at failing. And a lot of the time I see companies that write 2 years experience in high tech. I'm not sure this is the right way to go when it goes to BDR. It's still an entry level. And if you can train them, and I invest a full month or two, it depends on how difficult is the product. In my guys, after that I send them free. They can do whatever they want. They know the process, they know their do or don'ts, they understand the product, and they can do it themselves. So one of the people, a few people I hired, one of them was a tennis player, very outside the box. My manager looked at the resume and said, I don't see anything but tennis. So she played tennis, and she trained tennis. Said, yes, but how many times has she gone on a game and lost and got up again? How many sets have she lost? All by herself, in front of one person, in front of a crowd, by herself. Think about this was one of my amazing hires. She just transferred to be a CSM from BDR in Sisense. Another guy was an accountant, didn't speak English at all. Okay? I had to teach him English, but he was an accountant, he looked at the business side. He saw the pain and need of every business better than any other BDR I've seen. This guy became the employee of the year at Sisense, and now he's an AE. He just sold in the first quarter $100,000, which is not easy at Sisense. Another guy who's sitting right here in the crowd, his name is Tal, used to be a DJ. That's what life does. You start your career and maybe become a DJ. And then I realized that this guy will work nights and days and will not be able to use his verbal skills. And he calls Australia at midnight, and he wakes up early and calls the Philippines, and he just works around the clock, which is amazing. Again, you hire with no experience, you just need to give those people the tools for success. So a few tools that the BDRs are using, obviously CRM, Salesforce, or whatever you guys are using, HubSpot, engagement tool, we can be SalesLoft or Outreach. But I think the most important thing for the BDR is the prospecting tool. That's where it takes me to Lucia. Okay. So Lucia, what is Lucia? It's a prospecting tool. It's essentially an outbound product. This is Lucia, by the way. We love her a lot. Every time you go on LinkedIn, you see phone number and email. My guys already are in LinkedIn all the time. As a BDR, your work environment is LinkedIn. From now on, every time you look at this guy's profile, you see a phone number, email, short description about the company. So it's a very much outbound product because those people don't know you, you don't know them. It's also an inbound product. We have a native app that sits on Salesforce and in Salesforce. And every time you get an inbound with a phone number, with the wrong phone number, you know how many times you got an inbound with 1111 as a phone number? Lucia will correct it. Get the right phone number. If you want to go after your closed loss from last year, how many people move jobs every year, so they change their email? Lucia can give you the correct email. Essentially, Lucia is a database. We have billions of records over millions of people. I think the best way to understand the Lucia value is through a case study. So as I say, I worked at Sisense for 2 years, 2017, 2018. At that time, Sisense had 400 employees. I would say 2 functioning BDRs. I had a team of 5, but at the end of the day, only 2 of them were actually functioning. And we had over 4 prospecting tools. So we had Discover or Zoom Info. They're separated at a time. We used LeadIQ. We used LinkedIn Sales Navigator. That's a lot of platform to bounce from. So it was very hard to outbound. And who were we looking for at Sisense? So we obviously worked on EMEA, which was our region, computer software industry, 500 to 5,000 people. But the personas that we were looking for were CXOs, meaning CEOs, CIOs, Chief Information Officers, CFOs, everybody will work with data. VP product, if you want to embed your Sisense in your product. Very high level personas that will not answer your LinkedIn request, will definitely not answer your email, and always have a gatekeeper. So you would call, hi, I speak to John. Do you know him? Is this a cold call? Very hard to pass those gatekeepers. And it was very hard to outbound. And that's what I call the outbound challenge. Again, you use many platforms. You use a CRM, you use Gmail, you use SalesLoft, you use tons of Google Sheets, you use a prospecting tool. You need to juggle between those. And there's a thing I call the outbound flow. Meaning, again, we talked about there's a cadence, right? First day you call, second day you email. What happens if you don't have the right phone number? The BDR gets stuck. Like, okay, what do I do right now? Do I go to the next guy? Do I look for the right phone number? Do I look for a different person? No, this is the person I want to talk to. Same thing with the bounced emails. What happens if you have a bounced email? You interrupt the flow. As far as I'm concerned, the flow in your outbound process is the most important thing. You need to have a healthy pipeline. And that's where I started learning about Lucia. I got a call from this guy, Alex Wyman. He's still a director in our company. He said, listen, I have this amazing tool with amazing data. You have to try it. I tried it. I fell in love immediately. We already on LinkedIn all the time. That's our main platform. We like people. We like things that people do. We post. And this is our go-to tool. And every time we looked at the guy's profile, we saw email, phone number. Right now we have short description of the company. Very amazing stuff. We started having accurate data and targeted prospecting. With Zoom Info, you build a list of 2,000 people, VPs in the United States, and you send mass emails, and you hope for the best, right? No, we started actually see what those people are doing. I have a guy here in the audience used to work for me that once asked the Lufthansa CEO, hey Lufthansa CEO, do you only fly Lufthansa? Got a great result. We started having healthy pipeline, meaning correct email and correct phone number, so it would never interrupt the flow. We started getting direct numbers. This was a key factor. Lucia has direct numbers, phone numbers, cell phone numbers for CEOs, VPs. Meaning you will never need to pass a gatekeeper. I don't teach my guys to pass gatekeepers anymore. I teach them how to deliver value in 15 seconds. There's no extension 111 anymore. Our CEO doesn't sit with a phone and wait for calls to come in. He has his cell phone. So that was a good factor, and it was a game changer for Sisense. So what changed? We moved from 5 to 10 meaningful conversations per rep per day. This is huge. Why? Because our verbal skills are the most important skills, right? We start actually talking on the phone. We didn't make 2, 3, 4 calls a day. 10 people. We became better at our job. We started getting rejection we didn't know or exist, and we started learning how to overcome them. We booked for more meetings, which is a great piece of data, but we doubled the amount of opportunities. So we didn't book a lot more meetings, but we doubled the amount of opportunities that generated money. So we moved from 20K to 400K per queue. Everybody was happy. The BDRs were happy, VP sales was happy, everybody was happy, and I had to move to Lucia because it was awesome. So what I call it the Lucia effect, what actually Lucia created, again, personalized outreach. I don't like send mass emails, it never works. You get a lot of bounce, it ruins your domain. You need to be targeted. You need to see the person you're calling and actually talk to him about relevant topics that are important to him, not to you. Your product doesn't matter. He matters more. Start having a healthy pipeline, so reach more prospect over the phone. We became better at our jobs. We learned how to create value fast, and most and foremost, we created revenue. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'm here. I'm passionate about helping. I'm really always happy to help, and Lucia is hiring. It's an awesome place to work in.
2 questions.
Hey, 1 second. Maria?
I did it without a cough.
Hi. We use Lucia, and we're quite happy with it, especially in Europe. 2 questions. One is integration with HubSpot, and number 2, GDPR. Because you phone someone in Europe, they ask sometimes, where'd you get my number?
So I'll start with the second one. The first answer should be you get it from Lucia. We're 100% GDPR compliant. We worked a year with all the paperwork. CEO is in legal. He used to be a lawyer, and he showed me it's like this. Okay, we 100% GDPR compliant. We store the data the right way. We collected it the right way, so that's not a problem. I'm sorry. The first question.
HubSpot.
So we don't have integration with HubSpot yet. This next week we're starting to have a push to Salesforce, meaning you will see somebody on LinkedIn, and right here you're gonna have a button that will go straight to Salesforce. Next will be SalesLoft, HubSpot, and Outreach. Thanks, guys.